congratulations, and it's a wonderful book is the main thing
Thank
to
you.
say.
Really
Uh,
appreciate it.
it's kind of extraordinary. Congratulations. To put in as much factual information as you did, and for it not to be heavy, was kind of amazing. And to be going into something so personal and so wounding, and still to make it open to a reader, and open beyond, which I'd like to ask you about. You know, as a white British person, we learn so much about African history. Not, um, but you were speaking to a very wide audience. You
Yes.
weren't just aiming back at Zimbabwe or aiming at an African diaspora in general.
Hmm.
Um, so that we found amazing, and just reading something terribly hard when you've got the company of beautiful writing.
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
still hard, but you've
Yeah.
got the company of beautiful writing, and it's like somebody holding your hand in a good way and saying, "Yeah, but this is really beautiful, so we have to go and look at this." But I'm here, and
Yeah.
that is like, if you can nail that, you can take the reader anywhere. So, are you planning to write more? Because you kind of have to.
Yes. It said that's No Safer Kind of Hatred is the first book, I guess, in a series of about three. It continues from when I left Zimbabwe at the age of 17,
Yeah,
18 and came to England, and my time as a student, as a nurse in really quite really challenging environments as well. And
yeah,
my time in policing, in child sexual exploitation, in so-called black on black violence, counterterrorism, and
right.
the modern slavery and child criminal exploitation team, just before I left in 2021. So all of those areas, I guess, that I have chosen, just with reflection now, is about narrative, getting people who are really in spaces where you think they have no voice sometimes, and you
Yeah,
want to get the best possible story you can put out there so they can get justice, or sometimes they can get the care they need. So it's an
mm,
ongoing conversation with myself and the past, and really to deal with some of the traumatic stuff I dealt with. Because I mean, I walked out of policing after 25 years, on my own with a little bag with my things. There was no counseling, there was no how do you feel type thing. It's
right.
like I just walked straight out into the world, and here I am, and there's so many of us out there. And I think
To put,
writing for me has given me the platform to
yeah,
digest and in slow time deal with all of these things from when I was a child to now. So the first step really was no safer kind of hatred, because to
right.
me it so resonated with what's going on in the world and the stories that people are trying to tell and the noise that's going on. So the reason why I kind of used that kind of tone of, I was exploiting really this porous zone between history, trauma, memoir, and literature, and to try and tell told tales, but like a
Yeah,
story
yeah,
deemed possible with permission and license in a way. But I was using the little boy's voice and his insights as a guide. Um,
yeah.
but my grandmother really was the key sort of character
Sure.
in there. And as a woman who was not educated in the Western sense of what the word education means, but I mean, the things that I saw, and when we stood behind her, when she shielded us from all of that stuff, but also, how she raised us. Really, how do you prepare children for a world that doesn't see them, that doesn't
Mm,
recognize that, these are, I mean, we were seeing dead bodies at school. I saw my first murder at the age of 7 or 8, so all of these things. So on the one hand, it was this kind of really rare, tender moments between me and my grandmother. But on the other, there's really kind of extreme forms of brutality that she visited upon us. But and you can read that character in a different way, can't you? But to me, it's like a
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. But I mean, it comes across clearly. She's doing her best in a hyper-violent
yeah,
situation,
yeah,
and just having to be having to be a wall and an embrace is really tough. And she's kind of
yeah.
doing her best. Yeah,
And I
but
think writing,
the only person you sacrificed was yourself. You understood the porosity of those boundaries, which is
yeah,
a trick because some people don't. and yeah, you only sacrificed yourself, and I'm really glad I read something where you were talking about this the shame of coming from it,
Yeah.
and I hope it's lifted the last of that. But
So all of these
yeah,
things that I've done kind of prepared me, I guess, set me on this path that one day I guess I was going to sit down and reckon with the past and think, how do I deal with this without going into therapy? Because
yeah,
I think I would be
yeah,
a bad patient. I mean, this could be going for
yeah. Writers are not good with therapy.
no,
We kind of
yeah,
know the map that they show you. Oh
yeah,
man, you're
yeah.
just a light. You're one of the good ones, man. You are one of the good ones.
So
The
all
thing,
of
the
this,
thing about the RSL, that's nice. The
mhm,
it's not strangers or marketing people, or but I mean, this.
yeah,
It's writers not judging writers. It's writing looking at writers looking at fellow writers' work and
yes,
uplifting work that they think is important, and that when you start the book you're one person, and when you finish the book
yeah,
you're a different person in a good way,
yeah,
and you've had that company and you've had that insight, and
mhm,
you're less alone and you're more able to go forward, and all of that is in your book.
mhm.
And eventually we just all sat there and I said, what's the one that we can't not give it to? And everybody said, oh, it's Frank. So
Right.
you have won, which means
Oh my God.
you will get some money, which means you will have time, which means you will be able to write all the
Oh my
beautiful
God.
books that you
That's
should
so,
write.
oh my God.
Um, which just makes me so happy. The thing
Eh,
is,
yeah,
we
sorry.
loved your book, and we loved the sort of soul that you showed us, because it's not
Sorry.
meeting the writer, but it's meeting something deep within you that's truthful and courageous and extraordinary and true.
Oh, thank you.
And you know,
Oh God.
may
Yeah,
that thrive, because it should.
yeah.
Um, it really, really should.
Yeah, this is a tears of joy. I think is validation that
Yeah,
all stories, need to be heard.
yeah.
That our pain doesn't recede with age. You know, that all we need is for others is to listen.
I think
It's
anybody with any wounds could read the book,
hmm
and they would understand. And I think people, it's hard to talk to people who don't know that place, whatever their version of that place is.
yeah,
And I think you do.
yeah,
I think you do. Um, so I hope
yeah.
you
Thank you.
you
I
feel
think what I
loved.
wanted to do was to kind of open up the world to this possibility of hope, of redemption. That
I
I
think
think my
any
grandmother's generation, she wasn't educated in the way that I am now. But I wanted to put her in the picture on the map in the world to sort of say those are the voices that really were never given the platform and but they did so much. I look at me now to think there were so many things that could possibly have gone wrong about me as a man,
mm, mm,
you know, and that didn't because of hope. And I always think when I went to see her the last time in 1998, we were sitting in a garden outside of her little hut, and I gave her some money. I had all of this money because I didn't know what she was going to do with it. So I said, "Oh, here's some money, Grandma." And she took it and she kind of didn't even count it. She says to me, "That's a lot of money." And I went, "Well, I thought it might come in handy for a pair of shoes or whatever." She
mm.
goes, "No, no, 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 no. I'm going to buy seeds and I'm going to buy fertilizer for next season."
Yeah,
And I went, "That's that's a metaphor for hope."
yeah,
I think my this nomination to me is the validation that we can change, that we can have hope.
yeah,
There's that hope in the world, I don't think. And it's also for us collectively because no one heals alone.
yeah.
No one heals alone. So it is for all of us. Trauma now is everywhere.
Lord, yeah,
Violence is everywhere. And I think we need to, as writers, even as the system's trying to silence us, you know, to go there in those painful, soft nation spots and speak about the things that nobody wants us to say.